Jey Uso seems like he has a lot that he's frustrated with at the moment, so we'll take a dive into what could be going on with this story. We'll also check out a live mistake from Smackdown and much more. Let's start things off with another visit to the Bloodline story. The opening segment from the September 23rd edition of Smackdown accomplished so much and hinted at a lot of possible directions for multiple storylines in the future. We talked about how Sami Zayn basically got his official introduction to the Bloodline, and how that'll eventually lead to his babyface turn down the line once they turn on him. We also talked about how Roman Reigns is now openly disrespecting the elders of his family, and how that may turn around to bite him in the future as well. But now let's get into Jey's story, because everyone can see and everyone knows that there's something wrong there. So what exactly is Jey's issue? Well, on the surface, you obviously would say that his issue is directly related to Sami Zayn. And that's technically not wrong, but there's a chance that Jey's growing frustration goes much deeper than just Sami Zayn. The Bloodline, Roman, and the Usos have been teaming with each other for many years now. They even had a small babyface run together towards the end of 2019. And that version of the Bloodline was completely unrecognizable when compared to today's version. Back then, the Bloodline was smiley babyfaces that were throwing dog food at their opponents, and that same level of seriousness just wasn't there at the time. You fast forward 8 months after that and everything changed, with Roman's return and new attitude. Roman quickly captured the Universal title and began his historic title reign. And who was the first opponent Roman Reigns faced? It was Jey Uso. At the time, Jey was babyface, but he still had this edge to him where he felt like he could take down Roman Reigns. He wasn't scared of Roman, and everyone knows what happened after that. Some fans still think it's the best feud Roman had throughout his entire title reign. Roman brutally beats down both Jey and Jimmy Uso to retain his title and claim the top spot within the family without any disputes. Thunderdome Roman Reigns was a whole different character even compared to current-day Roman. Despite being a heel, current-day Roman Reigns cracks more smiles and is a bit more friendlier when compared to Thunderdome Roman. Thunderdome Roman never cracked any smile and was truly this mafia boss sort of character. Everyone was afraid to approach him in any way, especially considering what he had just finished doing to his own cousins. So this version of Roman was a monster heel, just this supervillain sort of character that didn't entertain any nonsense at all. This version of Roman was also the same version that basically used brutal force to get Jey Uso to fall in line and join him. Although he was forced to submit and join Roman at first, Jey eventually bought into everything that Roman was selling and supported his beliefs, which elevated Jey's status in WWE. And that's when we started to get that nickname of Main Event Jey Uso. Then Jimmy came along, and again, it was the same sort of thing. Jimmy was hesitant at first, but eventually bought into Roman and Jey's ways. And once the three of them were on the same page with their brutal ways, they all took off and won even more championship gold. So all this good stuff, even the 2020 feud between Roman and Jey, is still relevant right now in today's story, because this is probably all the things that were going on within Jey's head. In Jey's mind, he's probably still thinking like Thunderdome Roman Reigns and still has that same sort of mentality. If you're not family, if you're wasting their time with nonsense, he just wants to attack you and get rid of you. That same sort of brutal mentality that the Bloodline had in the Thunderdome. But as Jey's looking around, he's basically the only Bloodline member that hasn't changed their ways. Everyone else around him has sort of lost their edge and become a bit more soft, even Roman Reigns included. Thunderdome Roman probably would have laid Sami Zayn out within a few weeks. He wasn't going to deal with that. But 2022 Roman Reigns is smiling, hugging Sami Zayn, and giving him new shirts, entertaining it, and that's probably having Jey Uso so lost and confused. Jey is probably wondering why they're all entertaining Sami Zayn. Jimmy has a personal handshake with Sami, Solo Sikoa is being the enforcer with Sami, and even Roman is now cool with Sami. So when the camera zooms in on Jey's face and he looks lost, it's probably because he's wondering about what happened to the Bloodline attitude that they had in 2020 and 2021. Roman could also very well be lying to Sami Zayn, and this could all be a part of another massive manipulation plan. But if it was, then why can't Roman just let Jey Uso in on the plans so that he can calm down? You can tell that Roman even let Jey out of the loop about the Sami Zayn t-shirt. Jey goes to rip Sami's shirt off, yelling at him, thinking the long-awaited beatdown of Sami Zayn was finally here. But he was completely unaware that Roman had a new shirt for Sami. So that's another hint that Jey is just completely out of the know right now. It's very interesting and could point to a lot of tension blowing up within the Bloodline. Jey is still very aware that whatever Roman says goes. That's why he hasn't put any hands on Sami Zayn. But will it eventually get to the point where Jey will put his hands on Sami Zayn and would then have to answer to Roman Reigns again? That's most definitely possible, and how ironic would it be if the fall of the Bloodline is partially thanks to an outsider that they let into the group? Would be just an insane situation and story all around. But definitely keep your eye on Jey Uso because a lot is going through the character's mind right now for sure. It's being reported that WWE had a little live issue with a prop on Smackdown. This all went down during Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre's announcement segment for their strap match. During this segment, Scarlett attempted to throw a fireball at Drew McIntyre. This isn't the first time that WWE has used these fire-throwing flash paper products at all, but the circumstances were much different the last few times that WWE used it. Karrion Kross and Scarlett used it in 2020, and Alexa Bliss used it in the Thunderdome era as well. But the difference was that these segments could have been pre-recorded at the time, so they could have done it over and over until they got it right. Obviously, you can't do that on live television. You have one chance to get it right, and that's it. It was reported that there were some issues with the flash paper Scarlett was using, so when she went to throw it at Drew's direction, it was supposed to hit him right in the face, and he would sell it. But in the live moment, it barely touched him, and it would look too goofy if he oversold something that barely hit him. So it was reported that after the flash paper went wrong, everything that went down after that was completely improvised and made up on the spot by Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre. So Kross and McIntyre definitely saved the segment there by thinking of something on the spot that worked perfectly and still got to the story point that they had to reach. Kross and McIntyre are expected to meet at Extreme Rules in that strap match. That could very well main event the show. And with all the White Rabbit teasers and rumors in the air, who knows if we could see something go down during that match as well. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.